The biggest mistake English learners make in a restaurant isn't grammar. It's thinking that being polite means you can't be direct. And that's how you end up eating cold food you didn't want. Hey everyone, welcome to Speak Like a Native. I'm Maya.
And I'm Leo. Let's get into it.
So Leo, imagine this. You're at a nice restaurant. You ordered a medium rare steak. The waiter brings it, you cut into it, and it's completely well done. Gray all the way through. What do? What do you say?
Oh, that's the worst. My brain would just freeze. I would think, I don't want to be rude. Maybe I should just eat it. But I'd be so disappointed.
Exactly. And that's what so many people do. They suffer in silence. Or they get frustrated and say something that sounds too direct, or even angry, but there's a perfect middle ground. It's a simple two-part formula that works for almost any problem in a restaurant, cafe, you name it.
A formula? I love formulas. Tell me.
Part 1. You start with a softener. I'm sorry, but is, or excuse me. Part 2. You state the fact of the problem, and then you make a clear, polite request. The magic phrase we're focusing on today is I'm sorry, but this isn't what I ordered, or I'm sorry, but this isn't right, followed by, could you?
Okay, I'm sorry, but this isn't what I ordered. Could you what?
That's the key. You tell them what you need. Could you take it back? Could you check on this? Could I get the medium rare one, please? Let's play it out. I'll be the waiter. You're Leo, the customer with the well-done steak.
Oh, okay. Excuse me?
Yes, sir? Is everything okay?
I'm sorry, but this steak, it is well done. I wanted medium rare.
Good start. You stated the fact. But let's pause there. Listeners, did you hear what was missing? Leo stated the problem, but he didn't make the request. He left it hanging. In English, that can sometimes sound like you're just complaining, not asking for a solution. The waiter might just say, "Oh, I'm so sorry about that," and walk away. You need to complete the sentence. Try it again with the could you part.
Right, I'm sorry, but this steak is well done. I ordered medium rare. Could you take it back and bring me one that's medium rare, please?
Perfect. That's it. I'm sorry, but this isn't what I ordered. Could you take it back? Notice the tone. It's not angry. It's factual and polite. You're giving the server a clear path to fix the problem. They will almost always say, "Of course, I'm so sorry about that. I'll get that fixed right away."
That sounds so much better than just sitting there being sad. But why start with I'm sorry? I didn't do anything wrong.
Great question. This is a huge cultural and linguistic point. In American English, I'm sorry in this context isn't an apology for a mistake you made. It's a polite way to express regret about the situation. It's a social softer. It means I regret to inform you there's a problem. In many other languages and cultures, you might start with excuse me, which also works perfectly. But I'm sorry, but is incredibly common and natural here.
So it's like saying, I'm sorry to bother you with this problem.
Exactly. Now let's expand this beyond the wrong don'tness on a steak. This formula is your Swiss Army knife for restaurant issues. Your soup is cold. Your drink has no ice when you asked for ice. They brought you fries instead of the salad you ordered. Let's try a different one. Leo, you ordered an iced coffee. They bring you a hot coffee.
I'm sorry, but I ordered an iced coffee. This is hot. Could I get an iced one, please?
Beautiful. Simple, clear, polite. Now, here's a very common mistake I hear from learners, especially from cultures where being indirect is the height of politeness. They will say something like, "This coffee is a little hot," or "My steak is maybe too cooked."
I've definitely done that. Excuse me, this is maybe not so cold?
Right. And what does the server hear? They hear a vague comment. They might think, "Oh, he's just commenting on the temperature." They might say, "Oh yeah, it's freshly brewed," and leave. Your indirectness, which you think is polite, actually creates confusion. In American English, polite directness is clearer and often more appreciated. "I'm sorry, but this is hot. I ordered an iced coffee." That's direct, but the "I'm sorry, but" and the "please" make it polite.
That makes so much sense. So we should avoid words like a little or maybe when there's a clear mistake.
Exactly. When something is objectively wrong, wrong dish, wrong temperature, wrong item, stated as a fact, not an opinion. Not, this is a little cold, but this soup is cold. Not maybe, this is the wrong order. But this isn't what I ordered.
What about if the food just doesn't taste good? Like you try it and you really don't like it. That's more subjective.
Excellent question. That's a trickier, more advanced situation. With subjective taste, you have to be more careful. You wouldn't say, I'm sorry, but this isn't good. That's rude. Instead, you might say something like, excuse me, this dish is a bit different than I expected. Is this how it's usually prepared? That opens a conversation. But for clear objective errors, our formula is king.
Got it. So for wrong, cold, not what I asked for, use the direct formula. For I don't like the taste, be more indirect and ask a question.
Perfect summary. Now, I want to talk about the second part of our formula, the could you request. This is where you can sound supernatural. Many learners, wanting to be extra polite, will use very formal language. They might say, would you be so kind as to replace this? Or I would like to request a new one.
That sounds like I'm writing a formal letter to the restaurant manager.
It does. In spoken English, could you is the perfect balance of polite and natural. Can you is also very common, but could you is slightly more polite. Would you mind is also great. For example, would you mind taking this back? But could you is the most versatile and the one I want you to practice today.
Okay, could you? Let's practice with another scenario. My salad has the wrong dressing. I asked for Italian, they brought ranch.
Go for it.
Excuse me, I asked for Italian dressing on this salad. This is ranch. Could you bring me one with Italian dressing, please?
Excellent. You even added the please at the end, which is the cherry on top. Now here's a pro tip. Sometimes you don't even need to say what's wrong if it's obvious. The waiter puts down a plate, you ordered fish, they put down pasta. You can just say, excuse me, I think this might be for another table. I ordered the salmon. See, you're even giving them an easy out for another table. It's very gracious.
I love that. It helps them save face.
Exactly. Now, let's talk about a common error from specific language backgrounds. Leo, for our listeners who are Spanish speakers, there's a direct translation that can sound abrupt. In Spanish, you might say quisiera, which is I would like, and it's perfectly polite. But if you directly translate the structure I want a new one in English without a softener, it can sound demanding. I want a new one in English without a softener. It can sound demanding. I want a new one versus could I get a new one, please? Big difference in tone.
And for Mandarin speakers, I know sometimes we avoid direct confrontation so much that we might just try to eat around the problem or not say anything.
Yes, and that's completely understandable based on cultural norms. But the goal here is to give you the tools to get what you ordered and paid for, while maintaining a friendly relationship with the server. They want you to be happy. Giving them a clear, polite path to fix it makes their job easier.
What about body language and tone of voice? That must be important too.
Crucial. You can say the perfect words with a scowling face and a sharp tone, and it will sound rude. So always pair this with a neutral or slightly apologetic tone. Make eye contact, but don't stare them down. A slight smile when you say, I'm sorry helps. You're not smiling because you're happy, you're smiling to show you're not angry.
This is feeling more doable. But what if they argue with me? What if the server says, no, that's what you ordered?
That's rare, but it happens. Stay calm and polite. You can say, oh, could you double check the ticket for me? I'm pretty sure I ordered the medium rare. Or I asked for the iced coffee, but no problem. Using phrases like no problem or that's okay keeps the vibe friendly. You're on the same team trying to solve a mix-up.
Okay, I feel armed and ready. Can we do a practice round? Throw some problems at me.
Absolutely. This is the part where you, the listener, should try to say the answer out loud before you hear Leo. Ready? Scenario 1. You're at a cafe. You ask for your latte with oat milk. They bring it, you take a sip, and it's regular cow's milk.
I'm sorry, but I asked for oat milk in this latte. This tastes like regular milk. Could I get one made with oat milk, please?
Perfect. You even added the reason you know, this tastes like regular milk. Good. Scenario 2. At a diner, you ordered scrambled eggs. They bring you fried eggs.
Excuse me, I ordered scrambled eggs. These are fried. Could you swap them for scrambled, please?
Great use of swap. Very natural. Last one, a bit different. Your soda has no fizz. It's flat.
This soda is flat. Could I get a fresh one, please?
You skipped the I'm sorry but, which is fine here because you started with the fact this soda is flat is clear. Could I get a fresh one? Is a perfect request. See, you're getting it.
This is so useful. I wish I knew this formula on my first trip abroad. I would have saved myself from eating some very strange wrong dishes.
Ha 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 ha. We've all been there. So, here's today's single memorable takeaway, listeners. Repeat this to yourself. Start with, I'm sorry, but. State the fact and finish with, could you please? That's your polite complaint formula.
And if you want to get these kind of real-life usable formulas every single day, make sure you're subscribed to Speak Like a Native. Hit that bell so you don't miss an episode. It's the easiest way to build your confidence, one conversation at a time.
Now, your challenge. Sometime this week, even if it's just at a coffee shop, if your order isn't right, use this formula. Start small. Excuse me, I asked for no whipped cream on this. Could you take it off, please? Then come back and tell us how it went in the comments.
Thanks for learning with us today.
Remember, speaking like a native isn't about perfect grammar. It's about knowing what to say so you can connect. We'll see you next time.